if you can't get your nose out of the Stieg Larsson hot trilogy from Sweden, which began with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, there are more thrillers to enhance your summer library. Deb McVitie leaves her North Vancouver book emporium with some great have-to-read titles. If you haven't read The Weed That Strings the Hangman's Bag, you may want to add it to your novel list. And to begin the hour, she reads books on her pad. Wired woman Lindsay Smith also shops, banks, and does business online. She comes in this hour to talk about cybersecurity battles and other high-tech stuff. Once a month or so, techno diva Lindsay Smith comes into Studio 4 with the latest high-tech or the latest information that flows through her high-tech brain. She is the CEO of Massive Media, Inc. It is my pleasure to welcome Lindsay Smith back to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Good morning, Fanny.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
So this big company, Massive Media, Inc., do you file your company report online and trust that it's safe?
I do, actually.
So do I.
I do. Yeah, for your business. Well, the CRA has a great online resource, and if you can't trust the government, who can you trust?
Oh, but as we're trying to get rid of paper, or
Yes.
a little bit of paper and too much paper, I always print it, because then when I go to my accountant,
Yes.
he has the information.
Well, there's this trend in accounting, or this traditionally always printed off the paper copy, even when we're doing things online. But now with desktop scanners, and have you ever heard of the thing called Neat Receipts?
No.
It's a little, there's two types of it. One's a portable little scanner, and the other one is a big scanner that can do up to 50-page documents at a business card, actual receipts. And the idea is that when you get your receipt for your business transaction, or even home if you file all your personal transactions for your quick tax, or you fish it through there, you feed it through, and then you've got everything online in an online software. We don't actually have to have the paper copy anymore, which is nice because you cut down on the amount of storage that you need. Now, the paper still existed in the first place, so I don't know if it's necessarily more environmentally friendly, but actually it would be, because when we're online and we're paying and we print off the receipt, we could just save it as a PDF and put it in that program.
That makes sense. I don't know if my accountant would like that if I don't have the hard copy in the...
I think in the
file. See, I take in the shoebox.
Fair enough. But I think getting more used to seeing things in a digital copy, as long as you've got a backup, because if you're going with that route and hard drives fail all the time, you want to make sure that you definitely do not lose that information, because you're still going to be held liable by the CRA at the audit time. There's no excuses there.
Well, when the BC government first put that site up, they had a few issues, as I recall. But it was easy to do this time. Fast, easy.
It's really easy.
And if it's fast for me, you know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Fast.
You can do all your corporate filing. If you're starting a business, you can go on and you can register, put your name reservation in, register your name, get your HST. I was going to say GST, but it's no HST number.
I had to redo that too.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get all of that online, and then you can file, like if you're an incorporated company, definitely file it all. And it does save you the fees of having to go through a lawyer, do it that way. But I do have a word of warning to the wise, or not so wise sometimes. Sometimes when you're doing things online, you feel like you get all the research when you're running your business, but you may not actually have the expertise that accountants or lawyers do. Because you know the first thing you do when you're starting a small business is they say, go get an accountant and a lawyer. I've learned the hard way on this one, because I actually have a company out of the U.S. who I'd never heard of before, is saying that F5 Expo, which is one of the events that Massive Media does, is infringing on their trademark, because we're F5 Expo, they're F5 Networks. But did you know back in 1997 they actually trademarked F5 in Canada? When research trademarking is typically you have your descriptive, you have your word like F5, and then you've got a descriptive word after it, and you're trademarking a where's within it. So this gets more into legal stuff rather than techie stuff. But it's an interesting thing for small business.
For us, we moguls.
Yes.
With these big companies.
Yes.
Well, yours may be bigger than mine. Mine's quite small. To say, call my accountant.
Yes. True.
And I incorporated with a lawyer so that I had all the T's.
Yes.
And then you can file online your company report. That's not a big deal.
So yes, yeah. So it's a word of warning. Is all of the stuff is available online, but absolutely make sure that you've got your resources out there to double check, because you don't want to be in a situation like
No.
this where you have. I mean, you might as well avoid it to begin with.
Well, you know, in court, ignorance is not an excuse.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's for sure. Well, you get divorced online, I assume.
You can actually. I have a friend that's doing that right now.
Really?
Yeah, they pay a $200 fee. What happens is they fill everything out online, and then someone actually goes into the court registry system and does it all for them. So they don't even the husband and wife or exes or whatever you want to call them. They just basically fill out their forms and away it goes, and they pay a $200 service fee for it.
Friendly divorce, as they call them.
That way, yes, the two parties would have to be very friendly.
Very friendly.
Yes.
Like, we're done. You're
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Which I think that's a good trend that's happening nowadays. I think people are.
I like it too,
Yeah.
but you know, there are
Yes, true.
who aren't so fabulous. Now, there's an online snark culture. They're calling it snark culture. If you don't have anything nice to say about anybody or a product, you can go on the internet and just blast away.
It's true, and this is a scary thing for a lot of businesses. The fact that the internet has opened up a new channel for people to publicly criticize them. And it can be a really positive thing because it gives the consumers a stronger voice. Like, this is the whole idea of participatory journalism and crowdsourcing for ideas, is the public is coming and their voices are creating a strong momentum and opportunity to give companies feedback.
Sure.
It's scary, though, on the other side, because within all of those voices, you often have people that get a little bit emotional about their perspective. They are not looking at it from a picture, and they're just out there to slander. So there's positive and negative sides to that, and it's I find it scary.
See, if you're
sometimes.
entrepreneurial and you invent a product and you're selling it online and somebody sees it,
Yeah.
imagine if you had invented the chia pet.
Oh.
Because it does get a lot of jokes
That was
thrown
random.
at it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? And so now there's places where you can go online and say, if you want to see the worst earrings ever made,
Yes.
go to this site.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, freedom.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
And they say, you know, all PR is good PR. I mean, I tend to not entirely agree with that, but it does create awareness around something. And someone may say those are the worst earrings ever, and someone else may go, I love those, and they may never have heard of them before.
Exactly.
Had
Plugged in world. There's
Yeah.
a site called regretsy.com. And apparently that mocks like kind of head scratching items that you think,
What were you
Who would
thinking when you
want
made
that?
that? Yeah.
you know, who needs a putter that looks like a bagel?
Right.
Well,
This is kind of an interesting
golfers
thing. A
have
guy would
bought.
stand out, or woman.
golfers have bought butters that have bagels.
Some people just
Sized.
love their bagels.
I know, it's true. So, what don't you do online? You bank.
Everything. I don't know how to answer that because my entire life would be thrown away. You know, what do? We bank. We do grocery shopping.
You grocery shop online?
I don't anymore, but
You
there
can.
was this. You can, and there was this fantastic site company that I don't think it was popular enough, so they're not around anymore. But I just loved it. It was so much fun. All the aisles were online, and you just go into your fruits and
Also virtual
section.
shopping.
Oh, it was great. So great. So you can do that. You can rent your videos online, like I have Apple TV, or you could. Have you ever heard of Zip.ca? I think they're owned by Future Shop. They basically you go in, you rent your DVD, and they'll mail it to you, and you keep it for as long as you want. And they mail it. It's like Netflix in the U.S.
Sure.
So you can do that. Like we talked about, you can file your corporate tax. I don't know, it's just everything.
You can
What
do
do
a
you
lot.
do?
But what do you, well, I still go and see the teller at the bank. I know it's silly. I have a card and everything. I can deposit online. But there's a part of me that doesn't trust it all. If someone says, send me your card, I'm thinking, not sure.
Yeah,
And I have the little special dot on the credit card.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Or
I mean,
whatever that
I've been
is.
doing a lot of I buy so many things online for my small business and for myself personally, and I've never had it with credit card theft or fraud. But at the same time, there are certain things you need to watch out for. You need to make sure it's a credible retailer, and if you're not quite sure, Google to see if there's reviews or other people that have heard of this site before, have given reviews. You could also call them directly if there's a phone number online, just to make sure.
So when there's a Visa transaction fraud or an American Express fraud, who's doing it? What's going wrong, or do you know?
Well,
I know you're not the CIA, but or or CSIS.
Maybe I am.
Maybe you
Maybe this
are.
is my cover, and I've
I
just blown
think
it.
that's it,
No.
Lindsay.
I think that the different things there's organized crime definitely out there. There's people that there are companies, like an underground culture of people that go try and steal credit card numbers and fraud, hack into hosting companies' servers that contain credit card information and email addresses. I've seen and heard of it more on the data side of harvesting email addresses and personal data information, not banking, but just for marketing purposes. So they'll steal all this information and then sell it to people who want to market to those people, to the people in the database. There's also just your hacker sitting in the basement. We all remember that movie Hackers way back when. There are those and they're just out there trying to, create a little bit of havoc.
Sure. So, have you read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Yes.
Stig Larsson.
Oh.
How about that hacker?
Yeah.
That Salander, isn't that her
Yeah,
name?
I actually just saw the movie for that.
The Swedish movie?
Yeah, very powerful. Very powerful.
And violent.
It was actually. I found it when it was very hard to watch, but a very interesting story.
Well, Hollywood's going to make one, so they may clean it up a bit. I don't know. This is the Swedish movie you saw.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
right?
The raw version.
Anyway, back to that. Hackers. I don't. How do you protect yourself against a hacker?
Well, okay, so there's different things that you need to be aware of. Phishing sites and phishing emails are something we should talk about, and that's phishing, not phishing like woohoo.
Right.
The phishing emails and websites they basically come into your inbox, or they're a website online, and they look just like, let's use CIBC for example. They look like the CIBC bank, and you'll get an email that looks like it's from CIBC, and it's like, hey, Franny, would you, or Franny, would you?
Well, they might say that's the